Welcome back to the New England Golf Radio Show. I am JJ Truman. We got Chris Arkan behind the board playing a little, I'm going to go ahead and guess on this one, Amy Winehouse.
Rest in peace, girl.
And
I miss her already.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, a fan of her music and a fan of her voice for sure. We talked a little bit before the show and giving her a lot of credit. I was a little bit surprised, Chris, being the music connoisseur that he is, giving her that much credit. But definitely,
no one can sing like her.
Great voice. Great voice. Let's move on to something else that broke up recently. Tiger Woods, Stevie Williams. Let's set the record straight on what actually happened. Tiger gives Stevie Williams permission to caddy for Adam Scott at the U.S. Open. We all remember that. It was a little bit of a story. Stevie Williams maybe looking for a paycheck, maybe getting bored, maybe he's got nothing to do with his $4 or $5 million that he made with Tiger, and decided he wanted to go out and caddy with Adam Scott in the U.S. Open. Tiger gives him permission. Also works with Adam Scott at the AT&T, where they finished tied for third, by the way. That Sunday, Tiger brings Stevie Williams into a boardroom at AT&T. Can you imagine being brought into the boardroom with Tiger Woods, and it's like, Donald Trump, you're fired. Okay, brings him in, has a conversation with him. Who knows the exact words? Would have loved to have a video camera in there to see how that whole conversation went down. But they decided they're going to part ways. I'm sure Tiger made that decision, or maybe Stevie made that decision. Heard a lot of people out there in the mainstream media talking about this as if it just happened. It happened that Sunday. Nobody knew about it because, respectfully of Stevie Williams and Adam Scott, Tiger wanted them to keep it on the hush so that they didn't receive a ton of media attention during the British Open. Probably selfishly, Tiger did that for some of his own merit as well, because he didn't want to receive that attention during the British Open. He didn't want every storyline to be about him and how he's not playing and him to be scrutinized and for Golf Channel to be all over him. So both parties benefit from that. So Tiger informed Stevie Williams that he's no longer working with each other. Good move, bad move. What do you think, Chris?
I don't know. I mean, time will tell, really. But what I'm more curious about is we've heard like the story from the surface, but what else is going on here? There's got to be something under that we're not seeing. I mean, we don't know what was said in the boardroom, but could Tiger really be blaming Stevie on his play lately? Is there another storyline here that we don't know? Like, what do you think?
I think that's an interesting question. I don't know if Tiger is going to blame Stevie for the way that he's striking the golf ball or not striking the golf ball. I don't know how he could blame him for his knee injuries. I don't think Stevie Williams had anything to do with that.
Stevie clubbed him like
maybe there was something else going on there that we don't know about. But I typically don't think Tiger is the kind of guy that puts the onus on Stevie Williams. It seems to me, when I see Tiger play and when I watch him in press conferences and when I just see his demeanor, he doesn't blame Stevie for anything. If anything, he's giving Stevie Williams credit for selecting the right club or picking out a spot for him to chip to in the Masters. You could see they having a long conversation. Everybody remembers that Masters chip in. And I don't see Tiger blaming him for his play. Now, a lot of national media sources talking about how important is a caddy. Well, I think a caddy is very important. How much do they account for during a round? I don't know. I'm going to say probably equal to what they get paid, 5 to 10% of what happens on the golf course. However, with guys, it's different. Maybe other guys rely more on their caddy. I think Tiger relies on Stevie Williams to make some decisions for him, or did rely on him to make some decisions for him, and then he puts the onus on himself to hit the shot. So to answer your question, I don't think he's blaming him for his play. I think it was one of those situations where Tiger felt like it was time to move on, or maybe Stevie Williams felt like it was time to move on. Maybe Stevie Williams was tired of being on the shelf. If you guys out there have anything to offer on this subject, certainly call in 883-9900. Love to hear your opinion on the Tiger Woods, Stevie Williams split. So, right move, wrong move, what do you think? Now, the next question is, where does Tiger go from here? There's not a lot of guys out there that have caddied for him before. He had Fluff for a while, who is now Jim Furyk's caddy. He had Lee Westwood's caddy, Billy Foster, for a while. Nobody else really out there. Not a lot of names on the caddy board as far as where he goes to. So maybe he picks one of his good friends and gets him out there. Chris, would you pick one of your good friends to go out there and caddy for you in the tournament?
Well, my friends don't know a lot about golf.
What if they did? Let's say they knew a little bit. You grew up with him, somebody you trust. Are you looking for more of a comforting person out there, or are you going to go try to find another professional caddy?
I think it depends where in your career you are, really, if you want to, depending on who your caddy is. I think when you're new, when you're just coming up, basically, yeah, maybe it'd be good to have someone that you trust a little bit more. But when you're at Tiger's, position, you don't want your friends out there saying, "Yeah, Tiger, whatever you say, yeah, hey, they're not gonna tell you anything." You want someone out there who will tell you what's what and who won't care that you're Tiger Woods and will give you honest advice. I think a friend is less likely to do that, but would be more likely to do that when you're younger and just sort of jumping on the tour and you're nervous and whatever, and having like a calming presence like that is nice. But at Tiger's level, I don't think he needs that sort of thing. That's what rookies need. I think he just needs someone who'll be honest with him.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think he needs to get a professional caddy for sure. I don't know who that would be. As I said, maybe is Tiger in a position where he can go out and steal somebody's caddy? I think that he might be, to be honest with everybody out there. Stevie Williams, by no stretch of anyone's imagination, struggled with Tiger Woods. Tiger made roughly, I was doing the math this morning, $90 million when Stevie was around. So let's say on the low side of things, Stevie Williams gets 5% of that. In some cases, caddies get 10%. But let's just say he gets 5% of that, right around $4.5 million roughly. I did the math. I'm not a math guy, but if you do it in your head, it's not that hard. $4.5 million to be a caddy, not bad. Stevie Williams certainly not struggling. And I think, given Tiger's track record, when he comes back, if he's healthy, he's in a position to steal somebody's caddy. As I said, 883-9900, call in at any time, weigh in on this topic. We'd love to hear what you have to say, see what you think about Tiger and the Stevie Williams split. Certainly a big story within the golf world. And as I said, got some national media. Stevie Williams certainly not going to be hurt, and he's going to stay with Adam Scott. Adam Scott, a good player. Got a chance to win a major. Had some tough times when he broke up, or his tennis girlfriend broke up with him. I don't know her name. You ever catch her name?
Which one?
Did you hear about that? I'm not sure who it was. We have to look that one up. Check it out. Adam Scott, tennis girlfriend. But now back on track, playing pretty well, as we said, tied for third at the AT&T. And the question really is Tiger going to steal a caddy? Is he going to take somebody off the street? What is he going to do? We don't know. Next question that follows that. Does this indicate to anyone out there that Tiger is going to be playing soon? Some people say no, it means that Tiger's not going to play for a while because there's not a lot of caddies out there that he could go after. He's getting rid of his caddy. It means that he's certainly going to be on the shelf for a while. Or does it mean he's going to be back soon? He needs to make that change so that he can move on and get back on the golf course. I'm on the latter side of that. I have to say, certainly I think that he's going to be back out there soon, and I'm going to stick to what I've gone with all year. I think Tiger's going to get back out there, and he's actually going to win this year. No matter who's his caddy. I mean, I think you could throw Chris out there with him and you'd be fine, right, Chris?
How about Danny Noonan?
Danny Noonan, certainly a great caddy and somebody who would probably be pretty supportive of Tiger Woods' performance out on the course. So I think Tiger coming back soon. Who knows who his caddy will be? Don't think the caddy impacts much of his play, certainly at this stage of his career. Just give him the number, let him pick the club, let him hit the shot. He's got the talent. He's certainly got the mental toughness to pull that kind of stuff off. So I like to see the story in the national media. At the same time, I heard a lot of people talking about it and really struggling to find out what they were going to say about it. I don't think a lot of the national media understand the relationship between the player and the caddy. And really, I heard a lot of people getting on Stevie Williams for being a bully. And if you listen to Saturday Morning Sports with Dave Long, he was on Stevie Williams for being a bully, taking cameras away from people and threatening to throw people off the course and throwing cameras in the water, which is certainly interesting because that's a caddy's job, and players on the PGA Tour love it when caddies do that. They get cameras out of people's hands, which Bubba Watson, as you know, had an issue with that at the French Open. And caddies are doing that because their players want them to. You know what I mean? When we come into the radio station and the boss says, hey, you need to talk about this on the air, we do that because that's what the boss wants us to do. Same thing with caddies. I'm not sure if Stevie Williams is a bully or enjoys doing that, but certainly Tiger Woods wanted him to do that. So don't make that perception or that judgment on Stevie Williams that he's a bully. Guy was just doing his job just like everybody else out there does on a regular basis. It looks like we have a caller on the phone. Let's see what we got. We got Bruce from somewhere in New Hampshire wants to talk about the caddy situation. Bruce, how you doing this morning?
Couldn't be better. Great show, guys. Great show. I'm having a good time listening to you.
Thanks.
So what do you think? Tiger Woods caddy situation, right move to get rid of Stevie Williams or wrong move to get rid of Stevie Williams?
Well, you got to be honest with you. I don't have a clue.
No clue on the caddy situation. Now,
no, that's not why I called.
Okay. What did you call about?
Well, I have an observation to make.
All right.
Tiger held on to his caddy longer than he held on to his wife.
Oh.
Yes.
Right?
Buzzy.
He gave
Sure.
up the woman.
Sure, absolutely. A lot of parallels being made between these two breakups. You know, I saw some golf writers who wrote a few columns about the parallel between Stevie Williams and Tiger's ex-wife now.
Tiger was cheating with all these other caddies, 16 other caddies all over.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well, what you know is that Tiger knew if he ever got caught with all the philandering he was doing, that his marriage was over.
Sure.
And he knew that, but yet he did it. Then he hangs on to his caddy for longer than he hangs on to his wife. I think that this move for him in firing his caddy was probably at least as hard as going through his divorce. So I think this is a big change for him, and one that I don't take in any small way. And I think the relationship with the caddy might even be more important to Tiger Woods than his relationship with his wife was.
Well, certainly given his actions, he was definitely faithful to Stevie Williams. There's no question about that. You didn't see him out there with him.
That's the point I'm making. I would expect more emotional turmoil.
That's an interesting one.
With Stevie Williams and then the split up with his wife.
Interesting.
Tiger Woods, and I expect that he will have this will have a major impact on his ability to play golf.
Interesting point. One that I never even thought of. Certainly just some irony involved in the situation. Tiger Woods cheating on his wife, then his caddy supposedly cheating on him with permission, right? I mean, who knows? Is that I'm not sure how you classify that. I don't want to get into any moral compass here, but and then Tiger goes out and dumps his caddy, and if the emotional impact is great, then certainly will inhibit his ability to play golf.
Yes, I think it will. I think it'll be greater than what the turmoil he went through with his wife was, although he's used to giving up things now. Tiger's good at giving up things. He's learning how to do that. He's learning how to lose. And so this may impact the rest of his career because he never did know how to give up anything or how to lose before, but he's really gotten good at it now. Anyway, that's all my comments. I'll see you.
All right,
Bye.
thanks for the call, Bruce. Certainly an interesting point there he makes. He thinks it's going to have a bigger impact on Tiger Woods than his extramarital affairs and his divorce from his wife. I have to respectfully disagree. I do not think that Stevie Williams leaving Tiger Woods will have a larger impact. Certainly his divorce and all the turmoil that came along with that kept him out of golf for almost a year and a half, led him to drive a car into a fire hydrant, certainly caused him some injuries. Emotionally, it may have a huge impact on him. But I would tend to think it wouldn't. I think this is something that Tiger has made the decision on before it even really happened. I think he's certainly prepared himself for that. Interesting point, though. A lot of parallels there, and maybe even some irony between the two. Like I said, Tiger Woods going out cheating on his wife, Stevie Williams going out and cheating on Tiger. Tiger gets his payback and his revenge. Maybe he gets his revenge on Stevie Williams, and now he can move on.
Well, also think about this. We know that Tiger can get other women. Obviously, he's Tiger Woods. He might not be able to get another good caddy like that.
Certainly, and that's part of the thing that we talked about. Not a lot of caddies out there. Yeah. Not a lot of fish in the sea for Tiger right now to go after. So a lot of interesting storylines accompanying this decision by Tiger to drop his caddy. If you guys have any more comments, 883-9900. We're going to wrap this Tiger segment up. We're going to move on here. We'll give you one more chance to call in. And it just a completely interesting story from the sense that there are a ton of dynamics that plays into this situation. How much does the caddy impact Tiger? How much does he need a good caddy? What type of caddy should he get? Who should he get? And is Tiger ever going to come back without Stevie Williams, who he had for the majority of his career, made $90 million in golf earnings alone over their time together, and be the player that he once was? So certainly a lot of different dynamics and a lot of interesting storylines, and we'll certainly keep you up to date on all the happenings as far as this situation goes. Nobody else has some calls. We're going to take a break. We'll come back, and when we come back, we'll talk RBC, Canadian Open. We'll get into a little bit of the New Hampshire Open field, and hopefully we can fit a little Nordea Scandinavian Masters in there that's going on in Sweden right now. So stay tuned for all that when we come back right here, WGAM.
Can you make a bull shot?
Make a shoe smell?
Very funny you are. Why don't you get yourself a real haircut? Here, take this, son.
Dedicated.